Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you the correct way to take advantage of squad battles so you can get as many packs as possible and get a ton more extra coins. So if you're new around here and you want a few more gamble packs and some coins to boost your team, then you're in the right place. Just make sure to subscribe and of course drop a like down below to say thank you. And as usual, guys, if you do want to get some coins in a bit of a quicker way, well, if you guys are fed up of coming against neeks like me and foot champs who use loans and OP cards from day one,
I'm getting really sick of you! Get out now!
Then you need to head over to mitchcactus.com, where not only can you buy the cheapest and most reliable FIFA coins on the EA market, you'll find over 10,000 reviews from people who have used the services and enjoyed them in the past. So make sure to head over to mitchcactus.com and use code RECALL for 5% off. So recently I did a video on the easiest ways to make coins, and some of you essentially hadn't heard of the squad battles methods at all. Some of you just needed a little bit of guidance on them, and that is what today's video is. So there's a few ways you can take advantage of squad battles. Now usually pretty much every year there's going to be a glitch where you can essentially pop someone around the halfway line or on the edge of the box, do like a skill, and it basically stops the game for everyone else. So if you've got a goal up, you essentially win the game by that. There was glitches earlier on in the year where you got like one player in the other team. So there was a few different things you could do always in squad battles to glitch your way to a win as well. So first of all, we're going to look at the rewards and look at what we are aiming for. Now me personally, I would be happy with anything in the range of gold 1, elite 3, all the way down to, I'd essentially say, silver 1. Even with silver 1, you're getting a premium gold players pack, a jumbo premium pack, a premium gold pack, and 4k. So I mean, from that, you're probably guaranteed a minimum of about 25 to 30k every single week, and that one you really don't have to do a lot to hit. When you go into the kind of the likes of, I mean, Elite 3, you're going to have to play majority of the games and get those played in order to do that. So how are you going to do that without taking loads of time? You know, you're already doing rivals, you're already doing champs, and some of us have lives on top of our FIFA lives, so you probably have other things to do as well, and it just takes too much time. It just takes too much out of your day. Now what you can see here is I'm currently on 6,676 points. You can see in most of these matches I've scored 3 or 4 goals, I've won all of them, and I've got essentially on average around 1,100 points per game. Now bear in mind, obviously the first 2 games I've done are the featured games. So we've got this one here at 1,600 points and this one here at 1,600 as well. Now I think these games can be played for as low as around like 1,100 or 1,200 points. The higher level you play them on, of course, they're going to get you a few more points, but when you do the featured squads, essentially you can do it on the lowest difficulty, get 1,000 points, and you don't have to do anything. Now, of course, I will show examples of exactly how you're going to do these processes and what you need to do, but the bottom line is on these 2 games, you can pretty much put them as low as possible if you just want easy points. You start the game, you score 1 goal, and that is it. All you have to do is press play at half time, and you are good to go. That's it. It's going to take about 1.5 minutes of your time. You can go and play other games, you can go and read a book, you can go watch a movie, you can spend time with your girlfriend if you've got one. I know a lot of the FIFA community probably doesn't. Don't worry, including myself. You could go and cook, you can do whatever you want. You can be doing 1,000,001 other things while this game is playing, and you don't actually have to be there. Additionally, if you've got the PS version, you can go and use that little handheld thing and you can play the games for yourself as well. Now, what you want to do with the other additional games, I would argue, is essentially play all of them on semi-pro or professional. Now, the 2 that here that I've actually played on semi-pro were accidents. I meant to play them on professional, it was just me being stupid, but these 2 here I've done on professional, as you can see. So we've got 2 professionals and then 2 semi-pros. Now the 2 semi-pros I've got around 800 points, this one I've got about 900, and then you've got 1,000 here. So you can see, based on how you win, obviously you're going to get more points. So this one I've basically landslided them 4-0 and I got 1,000 points. There is a cap out of what your goals are going to do, but if you want to do this in the laziest possible way, essentially we're going to reset our teams now. You want to go for your easiest teams first. So this one, we've actually got a more difficult set. I say that because usually you've got a team of like 60 rating or something like that. But this would be the easiest team in the set. So we're going to go ahead and do it on professional. So as you can see, my team is pretty well equipped in order to take this task on. And of course, it's not a difficult task anyway. Now, let's say I'm doing this in the laziest possible way. I want to do the least possible stuff as part of this squad battles match in order to win. But I also, of course, want to get my points and walk away with the win. That is obviously an imperative part. Now, one thing you will notice, squad battles very, very rarely tries to beat you. If they do get 1 goal, it is actually significantly harder, I think, to actually play against them. But if you can stop them getting a goal and just score 2 immediately, you essentially don't have to do anything for the rest of the game. So let's just get that ball first of all. Probably best if we don't foul them, but you know. So we've got the ball after a failed shot by then, and I'll be honest, it should have probably taken me a lot less to get the ball. All you want to do, of course, is sprint down the wing and pass to one of your strikers. It's pretty simple. It's very easy to get a win on a squad battles game. Very easy to sweaty them because they just aren't a real person. They're not expecting a sweaty. Of course, if you're doing this on the hardest difficulty, it is going to be harder, but you don't need to do that. To get into Elite 1 or Elite 3, Gold 1, that kind of territory, you really only need to get 1,000 points a game, if that. If you have a look at what we got from last week's winnings, I think I literally played nothing last week and I got silver something. I've had quite a few gold finishes essentially just from doing evolutions. And that's another thing. If you're doing this and you're hopping into these games in order to just get these done quickly, get your 1,000 points and not do anything else, it's worth putting an Evo player in if you've got any free ones available. Just depending on how much time you have with this, of course, some of you are going to say, right, well, I only have the time to play 5 games, do the 2 featured games, play 3 of the weakest teams on professional. Literally just reset the teams every time you've played one, just play the weak teams and just do them on professional because it's going to be easier for you. As you can see, there's no difficulty to actually score in these games. What I'm going to do for the rest of the duration of this game is leave it. I'm going to speed the process up. Of course, I don't think they're even going to try and score a goal. If they score a goal and I notice it, I'll tap another one in, but it's very unlikely they're even going to bother. Now, we've noticed that around 38 minutes, they've managed to score 2. Now, I don't think this is very common. In the ones I've done recently, you will assume they've scored like 1 goal versus my like 3. And usually it'd be I score 3 and they score 1. But it's okay. You can go back in. It doesn't have to be immediately. If I'd have found this out at half time, I could hop back in after half time and just ping the goal in. And the chances are, I mean, as I say, they very, very rarely score. If you bring back that lead, if I pop 2 more in, they're absolutely not going to bring that back. And essentially, I'm not even playing. I'm just sat here on my phone. I can watch Netflix, I can watch Disney Plus, I could go do some work, I could go train, I could do some press up. Do you know what I mean? There's literally endless things you could do and you don't have to play the game, which is kind of, I think, the thing that annoys people about squad battles is it's essentially just a boring version of like Div Rivals. You're just playing Div Rivals against a computer, which isn't fun. So I think that kind of alleviates that. You've got the opportunity to just do other things outside of it. As you can see, once they score, they become a little bit more difficult to play against. I don't know how I've not ended up with a goal there. Brilliant. Order is restored. Right. We've somehow given away a pen while I was waiting to grab my second goal. Now, that's atrocious, but we're going to have to get a 4th goal now. And I feel like EA's just mugging me off. But I can assure you, this is not the usual theme for this. I think a lot of people can recognise that squad battles isn't usually like this. I think I'm getting mugged off a little bit with this game, unfortunately. If your squad battles AI is actually trying harder than it should be, cool. Play a little bit more of the game or notch it down in terms of the level. As I said, usually you're going to get lower rating teams. But what you can do, if the AI is being a bum and you don't think you can just leave the controller on its own, just pop a rubber band on it. You can grab the ball, go into the corner and rubber band your way all the way to that last minute. So you'll be perfectly fine. You don't actually need to play the rest of the game. Now, as I said before, it's very unusual that they even bother to get those goals back. I'm surprised they did, but obviously the rating of this team is a little bit higher than you expect. Usually you'll have one really high rated team, one kind of 86, and then you should have 2 really mud ones, bronze or silver players. Those ones I would tend to be the ones that, I mean, what's going on here? Those ones I would be tending to be the ones that I'd be putting on the professional or even ultimate if you get the right level of crap team. But in these scenarios, if you do find teams where you can't be bothered to be putting in any extra work, that's what this method is for. You can do 2 games, you can do 1, you can do all the games, but on a lower difficulty, it doesn't really matter. So it's very easy for you, based on the amount of time that you've got that's free, to determine what you want to do with it. Now, with a lot more effort than I should have, I've walked away, of course, with a good few points towards my month or my week on squad battles. So we've got 1,032. Now, the lower end of what I could have got there was 900, so we've got an extra 100 for the goals we've scored, so it's a benefit even if you do have to put that little bit of extra effort in. However, if you go on this team here and go semi-pro, there is absolutely no chance they're ever even going to score back for you. That was professional, where they've scored 2 and I've somehow given away a penalty. But it's very easy to just do other things while you have squad battles on and very easily get into the rank of squad battles. Like I say, 1,000 a game. If you look at it, we've got 32 games plus the free, essentially 3k points here So you can essentially get 35k for free now. If we look at where everything is right now, Elite 3 is 20k points. Obviously, it's only Thursday. That's going to go up a little bit. Is it going to go up 20k points? Probably not. So we could probably fall into Elite 3 just by playing every game in the background of other stuff. I work from home a lot. I can do this in the background and it does not interfere with anything else I'm doing. Now, the other thing you can do, of course, to make yourself a ton of coins, get yourself a ton of packs and put you in the best position for EAFC is subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.